Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. We are together again in person. Oh, yeah.
I just touched the inside crease of Megan's thigh.
You know, the part,
like,
it's the part where if you squished it together, some may think it's
a fat vagina or
I was gonna
a
say,
flat ass.
I was like, I don't have enough to work with right here to make it look like an ass. Mm-hmm. So it is just kind of looking
That's
like
why I said flat ass.
A flat ass, or like this is my vagina after like that time I had that allergic reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense.
That even thinking about that makes me hurt. This is your weekly reminder to, if you have the start of a yeast infection, do not use the full strength 1 day monostat. If you're not even fully convinced you have one, you can't actually get ahead of it. You will just cause a horrible reaction. It was brutal. Oh no. Well, this is Don't Blame Me. We're an advice podcast. Are you so happy you stuck around after Swollen Pussy Talk?
What? That's a good name for a podcast.
Swollen Pussy Talk. And I'm just thinking of logos.
Yeah.
You're like, are those lip injections or are those pussy lips?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, I have a meme to show you later. Remind me.
Terrific. Love it. Can't wait.
Don't you love that segue? Because
I do.
It is, and once I show you, you'll be like, this completely makes sense. Weird Advice Podcast. I'm Megan. I'm joined by my co-host and producer, and the only reason why anything gets done around here, Melissa.
Hello. Did you see my to-do list I sent you today?
No, but I did see you sent me one. It's called shit we have to do.
Yeah, because
when you hang out with me, it's like island time. Like you come on to when you come into my home, people just forget shit.
Yeah.
We are an advice podcast. How many times have I said that?
About 3 or 4.
Great. So glad if you have been here for years and you're like, shut the fuck up. We know that. Get through the intro. Well, if you want to call in.
Someone I've seen people say that they discovered us during quarantine. So
that makes me happy.
Me too.
I want to know how, because we haven't had guests in so long. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how'd you discover? How'd you find us? I love it. Makes us happy. But we give amazing, life-changing, life-altering advice. And why are we so qualified? Is it the countless PhDs we have? Is it the fact that we are both... Fuck. So you know how men can become, you can be sirs? What do...
Like a madam?
Dame Judy.
Dame. Mm-hmm.
I was like, what's Judy Dench?
Got it.
Dame Judy. We have both been damed?
Knighted? I don't know.
I don't know.
On. Let's
figure it out. Let's sell our lie a little bit better.
Damehood.
That's also a good podcast name.
It is.
It's a really good podcast name. Yeah, we give great advice. It's actually, we have no credentials at all. What we lack in credentials, we make up for in opinions. We have opinions about everything, including your life. And if you want to tell us about your life and get our opinions and get our advice, you can call us at 310-694-0976. Leave us a voicemail. And then if you are an international listener, you can record an audio message and then email it to us at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. For both of those mediums, we ask of you to keep it under 3 minutes, because you will, on the Google Voice number, you'll be cut off. And the voice memo, Melissa will cut you off, and we just won't play it.
It just won't get sent to me.
Oh, true.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you. Yeah. Filter that shit through. Oh, ow. Hit my elbow. I'm like so extra clumsy today.
She's literally tripped 6 times, ran into the end of this couch, hit that. She was more concerned about her plant getting tangled into these cords than her own knee that has already been injured. Yeah. You hit it twice, right?
I did. It was like lower here. But my biggest fear after I hurt my knee was that I was going to get it again on the corner of this marble coffee table.
You need rounded edges like a toddler.
I think I do.
I know you do.
You know what? That is true. I actually rarely hurt myself when I'm babysitting because everything is childproof. Oh, that's funny. We ask that you're H and over, have your parents' permission. Let us know your pronouns and all the pronouns people involved in the story. And speaking of the story, what you're going to tell us, give us as many details as possible. We really don't need to know what your zodiac sign is, but we pretty much always, without a doubt, always we want to know how old you are, how old the other people in the story are, if it's about a relationship, how long have you been dating? All of those things, give as much detail. And the best advice that we can give you when recording your calls is to practice what you're going to say, write it all down, and then you can time yourself. Make sure you're under 3 minutes, see if there's anything you're forgetting. And that's how we get those like perfect, clear, wonderful calls that get a gold star from Melissa. And I think you've only had 2, right?
Yeah, there's been a couple episodes where when I was reviewing the episode, I was like, I should have given them one. I just forgot.
So delayed, but we're not going to give them to you now. But just know,
know that the thought was there.
Just know if you think that you're like, damn, I can't believe I didn't get a gold star. Maybe Melissa was thinking that you should have later on.
Yeah,
you have gold. You have I was thinking, never mind.
Regret.
It's like post-mortem regret, but I was like, no one died. Like post-episode, post-edit, post-record. I don't know.
Whatever.
I took an Adderall that will eventually kick in. Okay. It's going to be a great time. So what's new with you?
Absolutely nothing.
Except you got your hair done.
Oh, yeah. I did get my hair done.
If you're watching the video version, it looks so fucking good. Like, that is
yeah, that's great.
You need a TikTok. Like, that's like you could do that to some, like this. Oh,
yeah.
It's so good.
I'm really happy.
I love it.
Haven't had it cut in 1.5 years because, the panoramic. But here we are with new hair. Change your hair, change your life. That's what they say, right?
Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we both changed our hair. Have we recorded since I changed my hair?
No. Oh, yes, we did last week when we were supposed to be doing this very episode right now.
Oh, yeah. Last Friday.
But you wore it in a ponytail.
Uh-huh.
And I was disappointed.
I'm so sorry.
Because I was like, Megan didn't dress up for me today.
No, but look, now that we both I would just be like, you didn't have your hair. I was waiting for me for our grand reveal to be together.
Oh,
it's so good. But yes, you have a new hairstylist, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's great.
I will say here, if anybody wants to know what I have been up to, you should check my Twitter.
I haven't been on Twitter today.
Granted, this will come out.
It probably will still be going on, though.
Oh God, I hope not, but probably. It's the rest of my life. I will never know peace. Little Gooby Hammer. Okay. Well, we're going to get into our update. This is pretty self-explanatory. We just have a caller giving us an update. So our update is iconic.
It was everything that I hoped it would be because she's just so chill about it.
Oh my God. Like, it's exactly the person who I would have assumed this, like, their attitude, like, matched the call so much. And I'm like, this makes sense to me.
So laid back.
So chill. So chill about it. And this is from a recent call that we all loved. We were all up in arms in the Facebook. Like, this was like a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to spoil it. It's just roll the tape.
I was the girl who got her tits left during sex. That's me. And so basically, I didn't say anything. That's basically the summary. I didn't say anything and I just wanted to die laughing. And it was dark, thank God. You were asking about position? Okay, so imagine.
Are you hiding from said partner?
That's what she's doing.
Yeah, that's why I'm hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine me on top.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling it. We're getting hot and
You're
heavy.
facing
And
him.
then-
You're facing
and then-
him.
Facing him,
Okay.
hands on chest, and then he just slaps it. I wanted to die. It was the funniest moment of my entire fucking life.
Were the lights on or off?
Off. If
Okay.
it was on, it would be a problem because
Also, was it the like a nice firm slap? Was it the wind chimes?
yeah, like they like jiggled.
Okay.
Well, just one.
Okay.
So did
It like
one
went bonk.
hit the other? Like, was it enough force
Yeah.
that it was like a pendulum? Like, ding, ding?
Yes, like those things on the office, like on
Yeah.
your desk.
That's
Mhm.
what I call it. No.
Mm.
What's a pendulum?
A pendulum just swings back and
It's like-
forth.
Oh, no,
I'm
But you're
thinking of that. I'm
the
thinking the
thing that
exact same
goes
one we're
doot,
talking
doot.
about.
Yep.
Same thing.
Yeah. So that's what happened. So that was fucking hilarious. And then we were doing it again later. I'm not that crazy, but we're doing it again. But this time I was from behind. It was from behind. And then you guys, and then he hit it from behind. And I like went, I like snorted like that. But then and then he goes, "Did you fucking fart?" And I said, "Yes."
You'd rather fart than the snort?
Yes. And I said, "Oh yeah, I did." And then that was it. And we never talked about it.
I'm dying. Wait, so has it now? Like, this was, I mean, it was like kind of recently, but not like so crazy recently. Have you had fornication since, and have titties been slapped since the second titty slap?
We have, but no tit slap.
Maybe he thinks if he slaps it, then you'll fart, and he's scared now.
Hey,
Maybe. Which kind of works for me a little bit. But it was the fucking funniest thing I've ever experienced in my fucking life.
I'm dying. Also, like, slapping the titty from behind, that is a shot in the fucking, like, not to be like, do you have large, but like, does he like, 'cause, like, I'm going to say if Mott's tried to do that, like, he's got a very small percentage of actually hitting them and like might accidentally like upper hand me in the face.
Yeah, no, he has some area to work with. Like,
he's got some surface area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got some surface area. So it's not like that difficult. Maybe he was like trying to like, I don't even know, but he hit it.
Wow. He hit it while he was hitting it.
Yeah. To be fair, though, in the original episode, when we played your first call, I said I couldn't confidently say if I have or have not had my titty slapped. And for anyone who doesn't follow our Instagram or missed the post, I did text Mods in the episode, and I was like, "Have you ever slapped my titty during sex?" And he said yes, and I was like, "So I guess I've been there too. I don't remember." But also, I would say slapping I'm not gonna talk negatively to my boobs. I love my boobs, but like, I have small breasts.
It's a commitment. Like, he knows it has to be like right there in his face,
Yes.
and he knows he's not gonna miss.
And also, like, the slap in itself, if you come with a lot of force, like, you're probably gonna swing right past it.
Yeah,
like,
it might be like a tap. I feel like it was like a flick.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but like with like large boobs, that's like a very different experience.
Yeah, it was pretty jolting. It was quite fantastic. You know, I've had a number of sexual partners, but this has never been something that I've experienced. So that's kind of exciting because, you know, he's my husband and I definitely didn't lose my virginity to him. But I lost my titty slap virginity. So that was very special.
That's so sweet.
So
you should
precious.
get him a cookie cake. Our first,
and the cookie,
it's a boob.
Yeah.
What a good call. You do a hand with icing on it.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Wow. I do love the commitment to, I would rather fart than have him know that I laughed while he slapped my titty.
You know, it's something to remember. And I was like, fuck, I need to tell someone.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Like, we so greatly appreciate, like, that was
You're
like,
so welcome.
we were dying. I like,
so, Like I think we had to pause.
We did.
We had to pause and start over.
We did. We were like,
that.
could not speak. And we're both doing that laugh. We're just like, we're talking. It was,
Hilarious.
it killed us.
Yeah.
It killed
Okay,
us.
thank you.
So thank
know
you
I
for
need to
sharing.
Yes.
I
Well,
mean,
thank
it
you.
seems
Thank
like
your husband
it
as well.
seems like you are doing it well.
You
So,
are. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
bye.
You too. Bye.
We are back. Fucking fantastic update. We'll never not think about this.
Titty slap, titty slap, titty slap, titty slap, titty slap.
Dun dun dun.
I wasn't going with that one, but
It did sound like it though.
I was switching it up when it got to the fourth.
You were you throw a remix.
This is the remix.
Imagine that, like, anytime there's like group singing, that you just like slide in there. Everybody goes, "Oh my god, we're all singing the same thing. This is great!" And the remix, and you just like fucking glee it and throw another song
Yes.
underneath,
Yeah.
or Pitch Perfect. Oh, fucking funny. Well, love it, love it. Let us know in the comments on our latest Instagram if thumbs up. No, let's do.
It needs to be that open hand one that has like the motion,
Yeah, so give us an open hand emoji
but
Or-
the one that has the motion with it, so you know it's moving.
or a closed hand emoji or any other hand emoji if you're like, never had my titty slapped.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get into the episode? Look at you and your green drink.
So revitalized.
We need a remix of Purple Drink.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. Hope you guys are doing well and staying healthy. I need some advice, and I'm hoping that Megan in particular might be able to relate or help out a bit. I am 23 years old. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a Virgo sun, Taurus moon, and Capricorn rising. And I've been dating my boyfriend, who is also 23, for almost 4 years, and he is a Scorpio sun, also a Taurus moon, and a Leo rising. We have pretty much been living together at my parents' house since the start of the pandemic, when we went into lockdown together. But now that regulations are slightly lifted where I live, my boyfriend occasionally goes back to stay with his parents for a bit. We are planning on moving out into our own place together, hopefully by the end of the year if we can afford it. We have talked about marriage and getting engaged, and we are both completely on the same page. We both wanted to be finished with university, which he is, and I am busy with a postgraduate degree that I will finish at the end of the year, and moved in together before getting engaged. So realistically, I am not expecting him to propose anytime soon. However, we are at the age where a lot of our friends are getting engaged and married, and there is just a lot of external pressure. And I really do want to be engaged to him and marry him. And although logically I know our timeline makes sense and we don't need to be engaged to be committed, emotionally I just really want to get engaged to him. Anyway, that brings me to the crux of the issue. We are going on a trip, all COVID safe, in a few weeks for our 4-year anniversary. It's a super romantic trip to this secluded cabin, and I just can't help but think this would be the perfect occasion for him to propose. Like, so perfect that if I were the one proposing, I would probably do it on this trip. And even though I'm trying not to, I can't seem to stop myself from getting my hopes up. But I really don't want to ruin this trip by being disappointed if he doesn't propose. So the advice I need is basically, how do I not get my hopes up and end up being disappointed? I've considered talking to him about it, but I don't want to ruin the surprise on the slim chance that he is planning on proposing. And I also don't want him to feel like I am pressuring him, because I know he will propose when he is ready.
Oh. Here's the thing. You already done goofed because you think it's going to happen.
Yep.
Not like ever. I mean, like on this trip. And I think that there's it could possibly happen, but I think you're right that you will then ruin the trip by being disappointed if you're not. I mean, okay, let's talk about it logically. You don't want to get, so after school, and you've got a year left of school. So, I mean, from what you both have said, unless you meant that you don't want to get married until then, but you'd be okay getting engaged while you're still in school, I don't necessarily think that, unless you're taking the trip next year, it doesn't even seem like that aligns with your original plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of always surprised, never disappointed. I would just be like, I'm not getting engaged on this trip. Like, it's not happening. I would like do whatever whatever outfits you're bringing, or if you're going to like do your nails beforehand or anything like that. Like, correct anyone who says you're getting engaged on this trip and you say, no, I'm not. Like, just say it over and over and over again. And then eventually, even if there's still like a part of you that thinks it's going to happen, you just got to make the part of you that thinks it's not going to happen a little bit bigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but you don't think she should just get her nails done?
No, I'm saying like, get your nails done.
I think she should.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. But here is the fucking tricky thing. And I was just talking to my friend about this, who, like, basically they thought the exact same thing. They were going on a trip and they were going to get, like, potentially get engaged. But their now husband ended up accidentally butt dialing her mom and telling the entire story of everything. Her mom ended up butt dialing my friend. So my friend, like 3 days before the trip, had the entire proposal and everything spoiled and everything like that.
Why did the mom tell?
Because she was talking to her friend about it and she accidentally butt dialed her daughter.
Oh, I thought you were saying the boyfriend accidentally butt dialed her mom.
I did say that at first, but that's not what I meant. Okay. You're not wrong though. That's what I said. But yeah, so, and it was like a total like wild thing. But even like she was saying before that, she was like, I thought it was going to happen. But as soon as I found out for sure that it was going to happen, I realized that like, no matter how much I thought it was going to happen, like there was still an element like of surprise there. And like, I didn't really necessarily think about it. So I think like, if you want to be, if you have like a mutual friend or something that like, but here's the other part, like, you have two options. Either you don't get your hopes up and you really like work on like squashing that, or you potentially then have to like find out if he is and then ruin the surprise. I mean, I think my biggest advice is that it's going to happen eventually. And if it doesn't happen this trip,
it's going to happen.
Yeah. And there's a reason why. And like, I know that for you, you're like, this is how I would do it, but like, you're not marrying yourself. You're going to marry him. So however he ends up doing it is like how he's comfortable doing it and how he really wants to. And so I think if you can just relinquish any sort of like, oh, wow, this would be ideal. And if he does it there, that's because it would also be ideal for him too. And like, that's the perfect thing. And if he doesn't, it's because like he has something else in mind, which is, I think that's like the whole sentiment of it is like that it's someone who's planning this for you and doing all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I will definitely, without a doubt, say if you feel like that, if this trip is coming earlier than you've talked about getting engaged, and like you've just kind of felt like, oh, all these people around me are getting engaged, and like now I would really want to. If you guys haven't had that updated conversation, I think you could just take it off the table that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Everything Megan said.
I mean, that's always what I do for everything. I'm like, this is never going to work. I do the opposite of manifesting.
I always have my expectations set very low. That way people can't disappoint me.
Yep.
Or they can exceed the expectations.
Yep. Anyone who's like, Megan, that's not the mindset you should be. You have not been an actor. Like you have to. You can't go into every...
Or a writer.
Yeah, you can't go into like, especially like any freelance gigs or anything you have to pitch yourself for. You can't go in there being like, I'm going to like, fuck you, Rachel Hollis, any other self-helps. Like, that's how you book it. No. That's how you become severely, severely depressed.
Yeah. I'm always like, they didn't say no.
Exactly.
so I'm still in the game.
Yeah, you're like, well, it's fine.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. I'm a 26-year-old woman and my pronouns are she, her. I'm calling to see what advice you can give me on a situation that happened 8 months ago that I just can't seem to shake. I've been dating my current boyfriend, who is 27, for about 2.5 years. We have a beautiful and balanced relationship. About 8 months ago in lockdown, I was up late and received a message to my work email, which I thought was odd. I opened the email and it read this: I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but I've been sleeping with your boyfriend. It's been going on for a while now. I believe you are his girlfriend. I thought you should know because I don't want the guilt of it anymore. I checked to see the email to see who it was sent from, and it had a full name of a person. So let's just say it was Allie Smith 808. So I immediately went to my boyfriend's Instagram follower list to look for an Allie Smith, and I found one. So I immediately called my boyfriend to confront him, and he denied the accusations. I've been cheated on in the past, and I'm very aware of the signs that indicate a cheating partner, and I knew he was telling the truth. The real question was, why was this girl sending me this email? Who was this girl? My boyfriend went to undergrad with her, and they hadn't seen each other in years. He pulled up her Instagram profile for me to see, and we saw that she lived in a completely different part of the country as us and had a boyfriend. It just didn't add up or make sense. I ended up tracing the IP address of where the email was sent from, and the city just so happened to be the same city that my boyfriend's toxic ex-girlfriend from 7 years ago lived. Let's call her Sarah. Now, I've never met this Sarah, but I've heard from countless people that she is essentially the devil. There's no doubt in my mind that it was her. So I wanted so badly to reply to this email, but my boyfriend asked me not to. And after some discussion, we thought the best power move was to block her off all forms of social media so she would find out when she went to creep us and she would know that we knew. So all this to say, even though this has happened 8 months ago, I still have so much anger towards Sarah. I can't stop going into my blocked Instagram accounts and creeping her profile and bio, which always seem to read, "Be kind to others" or "Spread light," and it just drives me nuts. The worst part is that this year, she just graduated as a physician, a medical doctor, which is a profession to help and care for people. And every part of me just fantasizes about going on to rate my doctor and leaving her a bad review. I know I should probably forgive her and move on, but the effort that this girl went into trying to sabotage my relationship just irks me to no end. What should I do? Should I contact her? Should I just move on and trust that karma will get her? I don't even know why I'm still hung up about this, but I am. Any advice or options you can provide would be so helpful. I'm a Libra, if that helps. And thank you both so much.
Aye.
You don't have to forgive her, ever.
Yeah.
I would respond with like, I know, I've watched the videos.
What? I've watched the videos?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means that if it would be like, I know I've watched the videos, like that she knows that they were cheating, quote unquote, and she's seen the videos.
Oh my God.
They get me off.
That's really the power move.
Yeah.
I mean, you trust your boyfriend and like that's all that matters in the situation. I would not have been okay with like we're just going to ignore her.
I wouldn't either.
Because that to me, I'm like, then my mind goes racing. I go, why? Why? Like if this is a lie and she didn't actually do this, why aren't we confronting her about this? And like that to me, I think probably the reason why you still have these hung up feelings is I think 99% of you trust your boyfriend and thinks that like he's truthful and all of that. And I think there's probably like a 1% of you that feels a lot of this hate towards this girl, but also she's the only person who could also tell you if it's true, you know what I mean? Like true or not. So like, it is like, this is a stone that has been left unturned and you're just supposed to kind of move on. And if I were, I mean, again, right off the bat, I would have not accepted like we're just not going to engage with her and like block her. So then she because I understand the thought process. And I think that's like a very mature thing to do. And I'm not saying that my way is more mature. I'm saying my way is less mature, but I don't get the same satisfaction of, when she goes to find us and she sees that she's blocked on everything. I'm like, great in theory, but for me personally, I don't get to witness that.
Yeah. And you don't know for sure.
Yeah. And I think that I think that's the reason why you're still like hung up on this, also because you can't forgive somebody that you don't know 100% sure that they did this.
Right. But you don't, but you also don't have to forgive her.
No. Yeah. And so, but I think that like, without a doubt, do not leave any review for her like medical practice.
No. That's uncalled for.
And it's also just like you have like, I understand like, she's supposed to be caring about people and all of that stuff. Like, again, you don't have confirmation without a doubt that this is a person and you could then be potentially ruining someone else's professional career. And also someone can be a massive cunt and great at their job. Like,
also, what did she do that was toxic in the past?
Yeah.
Because that could be why he said to not, depending on how bad it was. What did she do in the past?
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I guess that's a good point. Cause then my follow-up was going to be like, I would reach out to her, but I think it is like having a conversation with your boyfriend. Like, is she like dangerous? Would it be whatever it is? I think that like, messaging her like and asking about that or to also like making a fake Instagram account and messaging her and being like, hey, are you hooking up with so-and-so?
Yeah. But then she'd know it would come from them.
Yeah, but then it also is the same kind of thing of like, technically she could like...
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
But I do want to say you have great detective skills.
Well, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And also I did not know you could...
look up IP addresses for emails?
Yeah, and then I went into my Gmail, and so now I have them expanded for every single one. So thank you for this, because I read the summary, and it just said like something about like got the IP from the email address, and I was like, from Gmail? And then I did it on mine. But yeah.
Good to know, because I do have a secret email.
Yeah, but yeah, I also think that like I would urge you to... make sure you have communication with your boyfriend about this too, because I think like the language and the terms, like, why am I not over this? Like, have like forgive it, all of that kind of stuff. Like, this is not something that you have to deal with like alone at all. And even if like he has quelled almost all of your anxieties or worries about this kind of a thing, like you said, you've been cheated on before. So this is like a triggering sort of instance. And it's not something that you need to like get over on your own at all. And it is up to your partner, whether it's true or not, but it is up to your partner to also be a part of it. You don't have to go through all of that alone. And then I think if he's like really like not helping you out at all, that to me is a little sus.
It is.
But
yeah, it seems like for this, you just want closure, just confirmation that she's the one that she did it.
Yeah. You want closure, and then you want like retaliate, like you want to hurt her in the same way. But I think you also have to register too that she tried to get, if this is her, she tried to get to you and it didn't actually work. So you don't have to retaliate in any way.
Work. It worked it's still under your skin, but you guys didn't break up.
Yeah. And so I think that like it does, like any of this kind of like revenge stuff, it does like take time just to like get through it. But I think the thing that is holding you back is you've never had a conversation with her. And I think it sounds like you've got a really good eye and ear for when someone is being like deceitful, and that it might be really helpful for you to actually talk to her to then know like, okay, I definitely know she did this, or I definitely know that she didn't do this. And yeah, I think this is one of those things like, you know, in those movies where it's like the person dies and they keep coming back and living the same day over and over again. Like, I think the reason why you're not like moving on past this is because like there's something left you feel like you really need to do. And I don't think you have to get over that feeling. Like, I think you can do that thing that you need to do. Moving on. Yeah, I would not be able to rest.
No stone would go unturned.
No, my therapist said that's one of my biggest issues. And she's like, Megan, you're just constantly surrounded with like all of these stones upside. I was like, yeah, I will
I know.
Cannot not.
I know.
It's a great thing about me, she says sarcastically.
All right, let's take a break.
Woohoo! Well, we are back from our break, and we're going to get into the rest of the calls.
Hey, guys. So I'm 21 and a Pisces, so I'm a little sensitive. I'm calling to get some insight on what to do or how to process some information that I just learned. As a background, my parents divorced when I was just a baby, and they've both been remarried, and they have a rough relationship that I've kind of always been in the middle of. My dad ended up remarrying a woman, and she ended up getting pregnant with my little sister, who is now 13. My stepmom ended up passing away from overdose when my sister was 4. My dad was kind of a deadbeat, so me and my sister became really close due to me taking on the role of her parent. I don't really have a strong relationship with her anymore since moving out and going to therapy and realizing that wasn't supposed to be my responsibility. However, I absolutely despise the way that my dad and his new girlfriend treats my sister, and the mama bear in me just kind of wants to take her in. That's not really the point. The point is that my mom told me that my dad is not her biological father. Apparently, my dad got a vasectomy when both my parents were still together, and my stepmom cheated on my dad and got pregnant. But she did put my dad's name on the birth certificate, and he's been her father her whole life. Even though I'm fully aware that family isn't blood, I think it's information that she should know. However, knowing that she lost her mom at such a young age, and then to tell her that her whole life is a lie and we aren't biological siblings and my dad is not her biological dad, would pretty much crush her. He may be an absolute asshole, but him and his side of the family is all she has. I don't think it's my place to be the one to tell her, but I also don't think anyone will if I don't. I don't know what to do. Should I keep this to myself? Should I tell her now? Should I wait till she's a little bit older to tell her? Should I talk to my dad about it first? I don't know. Also, my dad doesn't know that I know. I don't know what to do. Any advice would be appreciated, but just remember, I'm a little sensitive Pisces baby. Thank you. Goodbye.
I'll say it again. I really appreciate when you let us know that you're sensitive.
Yeah, because I was about to go.
Oh, I know.
How does your mom know that he cheated? Because even if you have a vasectomy, you can still, like, mistakes, like, it can still happen. It's not 100%. Is your mom just saying that your stepmother cheated because she got pregnant, or does your mom know for sure?
Yeah.
How did she come upon this information?
And you say that they have a really rocky, your parents have a rocky relationship.
Right. But, like, at the end of the day, it's just no, you shouldn't tell. That's not your secret to tell.
No, because I think that, like, part of the reason why you want to tell is because, like, you hate him and you want her to have, like, a better family, or the opportunity to have some, like, great people in her life. But this was nobody, and I say this, like, out of, like, love, and I don't mean this to come across callous at all, is because it's not, you were told this information from your mom. You weren't told this information from her biological father, who's looking for her and looking to have a relationship with her. And that's the big thing, that, like, it's telling her something that is going to, shatter her idea of her, like, nuclear family, and opens up all of these, like, questions, and then also opens up the chance for potentially, like, horrendous rejection from a parent that she didn't even know that she had.
Mm-hmm. Also, vasectomies are reversible too. So, like, for all your mom knows is they got it reversed.
Yeah. But maybe your dad does know, and, like, that is the case, but it's also not yours to tell, even if you think nobody is going to tell her. She's 13. She's so young. She's dealt with the passing of her. She was 4 when her mom passed. Like, this is not, I think it's like, I think your intentions are really pure in the sense that, like, you don't want to keep anything from her. But I think there's probably a part of you that kind of wants to give her this, like, fairy tale family, and kind of, like, this one's shitty, but, like, you actually have, like, I talk about all the fucking time that I'm like, God, I wish I was adopted. Like, I wish I could find out now that, like, blah, 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 blah. But I am an adult, like, and obviously that has not happened to me, but, like, that's something that you don't, and it's also not your responsibility or obligation to tell her, because you don't know for a fact. So what I would do is I would not dig. I would not talk to your dad about it. I would pretend your mom never told you. If she brings it up again, you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I don't believe you. Like, I think that you need to.
I would ask the mom how she came upon this information.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I just because your mom could just be making assumptions.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I just think if you just step out of the situation and you just, like, pretend you never heard that, and, like, be the best, like, and you also, like, if you can, like, reach out and be close to her, like, like, her again, like, your sister again, like, I think that's a more impactful thing than telling her this. And this is something that, like, people find this when they do, like, 23andMe, or maybe, like, if it is true, your dad has a plan to tell her when she turns, like, a certain age.
Right.
Like,
or, like, I would say the only reason why it would need to come up is if, like, there was, like, a medical thing. That's the only reason why it should come up.
Yeah, because it is true. Like, family, like, it's not, like, family is also, like, who raised you. And again, like, this would be so incredibly different if there was, like, a parent out there who is trying to find her and wanted a relationship with her. Because basically what all this does now is opens up for another deadbeat dad.
Yep.
You know, like it just opens up for an additional, and I don't
or
mean,
maybe the other person doesn't know.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think if it was a one night, like cheated, maybe like whatever it is, like it's either that person doesn't know and we have no idea if this is something that they would want to like take on. But they might know, and they might have had being a parent might have not been what they wanted to do. And they are living their life knowing that they have a kid. And I think that,
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
It just opens up, and I don't mean this in like a callous way at all, but when you don't have like great family who's like raised you, that can feel like a personal failure. And she's only 13, and like taking a lot of that burden of feeling like she is a reason, or like all of those, she's taken on a lot of that kind of stuff. And it's too much to have been taken on for a plate for a 13-year-old, especially with her mom ODing when she was so young. And obviously you said her dad and your dad and his new girlfriend don't treat her well, and you don't like any of that kind of stuff. And it just opens it up for her to feel like somebody else is not going to pick her too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's way too much and unnecessary. And I think if your goal in all of this is to make her feel like seen and loved and have this like potential opportunity for like great family, I think you can step up and be in her life more and be that, because you can control that. You can't control how her potential biological father is going to react to this news and how he's going to step up to it. And you can control how you are with your relationship with her.
But also, if it's going to make you like being around her more is going to make you like feel like more that you should give you the like determination to tell her more, then you should back off.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you think. Like, well, I think I would have wanted, like, no. No. It's she has already dealt with too much for her age. And that's no knock on her as a person, but like growing up, like we can only like, we have kiddie plates to start. And when it gets overflowed with trauma and just shit that happens and all of that, like it's growing up too fast, and growing up too fast catches up to you. And it's not like, you're not necessarily adapting. And one of my things that my therapist told me, she's like, being resilient is like a product of trauma. Like it's not like a compliment. It's an observation when someone's really resilient. And we use that as a compliment a lot, especially for young women. When in reality, we should just be like acknowledging the space that they're in and like the shit that they've gone through, and how like you shouldn't have had to grow up so fast. You shouldn't have had to I shouldn't have to give you a compliment. Like, wow, can't believe you're still like trucking on after all the shit you've been through. Like, look, you keep bouncing back up. Like, it's not, it's very like this, like, girl boss kind of way to like,
she's a tough cookie. Over. It's okay. Yeah. She can handle it.
Yeah.
No.
And you shouldn't have to. And this is, you have a unique opportunity to, and you're 21 now, and you have a unique opportunity to hold this information back from her.
Right.
Again, theoretical information. We don't even know if it's 100%, but you have this power to hold this back, and we can't prevent a lot of trauma for other people, but in this opportunity, you can.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're the adult, and you can hold on to it. And my biggest advice is just to forget that it ever happened. I would say forget that it ever happened, or take Melissa's and find out if it's true or not. But that doesn't change whether you tell her or not.
I just think that, I don't know if your mom's going around gossiping and telling people, because it could eventually get back to her. But like, ask your mom how she came upon this information, where she got it from. Is it just solely based on the fact that your dad had a vasectomy?
Yeah.
Because if that's it, the vasectomy is only like 99% effective. And then he could have got a reversal, which also is very plausible.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will also say that if your mom is going around telling people and it's going to get back to her, if that is the case, then you tell your dad, you have to tell her, I will be happy to be there and have that conversation with, be there if you need me to be there. But I honestly, in that kind of thing, there's certain things people are like, oh, well, it's better if they hear them from you. Sometimes, yes. But if you're not positive that information is going to get to them, I'm a fan of, I'll just lie. If you hear it from somebody else and I knew it ahead of time, it was an 80% chance you were going to never have to hear this information ever. 20% chance that somehow someone else knew and told somebody it was going to get to you. I'm going to bank on the 80%. I would rather that. And in that moment when that comes, I'll either say, I didn't want to believe this was true. I completely or I'll be like, I had no idea. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you can potentially, it's not an inevitable thing to find out. And I think if you can potentially withhold harming someone, especially at this point, you don't have proof, and it's not good news.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the best thing you can do is do whatever you need to do that can make you feel okay being around her and having a good relationship with her without telling her this kind of stuff.
Great.
But yeah, don't tell her.
All right. Next call.
Hi, Megan and Melissa. I have been waiting for a chance to call in for years now. I've listened to your podcast, so this is exciting, but also not exciting because I have an issue and I need advice. So, I am 25. My husband is 31. And I made a mistake when we were dating and engaged. He is really into nipple play. And I was really indifferent at the beginning. I didn't mind playing with his nipples. It made him come. He really loved it. And he really liked to play with my nipples, which I was indifferent. It was whatever. But it got to the point that he just started doing it way too much. And I really, really lost interest quickly. And I told him that I didn't like it anymore and that it was actually doing the reverse effect and I was getting turned off. So he didn't listen to me. And that's been the problem. He does not listen to me. He does it all the freaking time. I guess he took it like a challenge or something. Ooh, she doesn't like this. Then let's just bug the shit out of her and keep doing it. I'm not kidding you. I almost dread the point when he comes home from work every day because he goes straight to ooh, you look like a snack, which is fine. But then he goes straight to trying to pinch my nipples and it pisses me the fuck off. And I can't fucking stand it anymore. I'm at my wit's end. We'll be having sex or something and I'll be playing with his nipples because he likes it and I don't mind doing it. But then he reaches down and tries to play with mine and I just instantly go dry. I'm like, okay, sex is over. I'm not in the mood anymore because you just fucking touched my nipple after I told you not to. And I don't know what to do anymore. I've tried telling him. I've been to the point of tears before where I'm like, I don't fucking like it. It makes me mad when you do it. It pisses me off. It turns me off completely, and I hate it. And he doesn't get it. I don't know why. And I don't know what to do. Like, he hasn't said or anything that this is a deal breaker, and we've been married for 5 years now. Like, dude, if this was a deal breaker, you should have told me before we got engaged. I don't know what to do. I love him so much. I don't want to end this relationship over something like nipple play. But God, take a hint, man. I mean, seriously, what do I do? I don't know. Any advice would be great. I would love any advice because I'm not comfortable talking to anyone else about this. Please help me. Please help me. Thank you so much.
In my notes, I just have divorce in all caps underlined.
I was screaming in my head on top of being very angry because he's doing something sexually that you don't want against your will when you've told him to stop and you've cried over it.
Like, I have goosebumps. Like, this is not the way that you are speaking about it in the sense that, like, oh, I don't want to, like, over something as, like, little as nip. Like, that's not what this is about.
Little thing. This is not little at all.
Take away and replace any of sort of physical action. Like, he does not have your consent to do this. Not only does he not have your consent, which point blank is enough, you have also expressly told him over and over and over again that you do not like this and stop. And, like, the way that you're like, it's like he takes it as like a challenge to keep, like, that's fucked up. That's
messed up beyond belief. Like, and then he comes home and that's the first thing that he does.
I'm not endorsing violence at all, but getting in my personal space, like doing, like, it's like if you're, and it's a very different situation, but like something that I've always hated since I was a little kid, which I'm like, I'm not gonna do that with my parents. Fucking hated when adults would just tickle me. And I would be like, stop. But like, then like, I'm gonna kick you. And it's just like an automatic reflex kind of reaction. And for you to not have those innate physical, like you're
shutting down.
Yeah, you're shutting down. You're shutting down your physical reaction that someone does when like someone gets into your personal space and is doing something you don't want to do. Like, the reason, and it's because that this is your husband. It's because you have a relationship with him. If this was a random person or anyone else, like, we have those, your doctor kicks your knee, that hits your knee, you have a reflex, but you are suppressing that. And he's not like, he does not respecting your, like, that's why this is again, if for you, it's easier to take out
nipple play and put in something else.
That's like, he's not listening to me. He continues to do this physical thing to me that I hate. And I've told him, and it's like the way you're describing, it's like he gets enjoyment over the fact that you are not enjoying it, which is sadistic.
Right.
And so fucked. And I think you know that. And it's not about, and it always like pains me when we hear people calling about this of being like, how do I get through to this person? And it's, that person is choosing not to, like, they're choosing. They hear you. You're not speaking a different language. You're not saying it wrong.
You've blatantly said no, that you don't enjoy it. And he continues to do it. And he gets off on the fact that he's continuously doing something that does not excite you. That you do not want. He's forcing you into a sexual situation that you do not want to be in.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like, if you're calling him out and like he's coercing you to, like, he's not doing it, and then suddenly you're having sex and then he does, like, it's control. Like, it's getting off on that kind of control of it. And like, I would be brought to tears too of frustration, because like it's appalling to, like, again, like you said, be married to someone for 5 years and have them just not respect your boundaries at all. Like, and again, expressed boundaries. And it's even more, I'm sure it also, like, as soon as you started expressing it and he kept doing it, that's even like, that feels so much worse, because you're like, you're doing this because you know I'm going to feel like this in the end, and you're okay with that. Or you like that. And that's so fucked. So fucked. I mean, you're not when I say like divorce, like this to me is just a symptom and a sign of someone who does not respect your body autonomy at all. And
doesn't
that is like,
respect you at all.
And that's like a whole terrifying partner to have. I think that if you feel like you need, I don't know what, like a last ditch effort, or for you to feel like you have, again, every stone left unturned, I would schedule a couples therapy session and I would talk to a therapist about it beforehand and then be like, I'm going to bring my husband in. And like, so it's not the first session. You have had an established you have clued the therapist in beforehand, and have that there. And if you need that before recognizing that like, oh, it's not how I'm saying it. It's just, it's you don't care. And then find a good lawyer and because this is just,
I'm infuriated.
I know it's not funny. It's not okay. Mm-mm. And like, even the way that you're kind of downplaying, like, well, it's just like, I'm like, that to me sounds like something he would say, like that's like a justification for any of this. And like 5 years
is the way that she was coping with telling us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to make light of the situation. She said she's never talked to anybody about it before.
Yeah. I also want to say that like, obviously you need to do what's best for you and like your safety and everything. But for anyone, like divorce is not a failure ever at all. And like, if you end up with somebody who does not treat you well, that's not a personal failure.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone. So we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.
Failure, that's not like a lapse in judgment. Like that's not your fault at all. And like 5 years, like no relationship is wasted time at all, but you need to make the actions that are going to protect you like emotionally and physically in the future, and be with someone who respects you, respects your body autonomy, and like knows what the word no means. Yeah. Because I think also if you think and do some inventory about your relationship, I think you might notice that like, I think it's highly unlikely that this is like an isolated trait.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And if you find that you actually don't really talk to your friends about your relationship a lot, I would reflect on like why that is, even if it's not this kind of stuff, because you can be in like really like toxic, bad, manipulative relationships and like have no idea, but you compensate for the other person, you know? Ugh, I'm sorry. I know this is like, I feel bad too, because like when someone's, you know,
opening up, being vulnerable.
Yeah.
They're trying to make light of the situation because they know.
Yeah. Oh, last thing I will say. You started the call saying like, I fucked up. You did not fuck up at all.
No.
Like saying that you were interested in something at a time when you were like
exploring.
Yeah.
Seeing if you might be.
But also, like, you can be into something for like a week, a day, a season, a couple years.
The next time you can be into something at the beginning of starting that sex round.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it, but like, and then be like, I don't want that anymore.
Think about it like food. Like, sometimes you're in the mood for this. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're like, I'm never going to eat that again. I have no desire to try that. I'll try that once. And like, no, I had a phase with this for a couple years and like, now I'm not into this anymore. Like, and that's not like, being attracted. I mean in like the sense of like phase of
sexual acts.
And sexual things. So yeah, but none of this is on you. Like you did not invite this in because at one point you were into this. Like at one point I was, again, not to trivialize this, but like at one point I was into gauchos. I don't have to wear gauchos for the rest of my life. Like at one point we've all done like one point, someone has braces. You don't have braces for the rest of your life. Like you didn't invite something in because you were okay with something at a certain point in time. And even if for anyone, if you like say that you're into something or you like it and like you are not wholeheartedly being truthful, any adjustment or change or feeling like saying that you are not into that later on is not deceit. It is not it's not your fault at all. This was my automatic reaction to this. This is what I said. I've now done some reflecting, realize I'm not being truthful. And so like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't consent to that. And your partner should without a doubt respect that.
100%.
Oh my God. I just can't even imagine like my heart breaks. Like the terror every time he comes home. And like, I don't know if this is like I don't think it is, but like, the way you're talking about it is someone who is in an abusive relationship. I'm terrified for my husband to get home. Like, and doing this kind of stuff. Like, I think you need to take the physical act out of this and recognize that like your partner should never be making you feel like this, regardless of what it's over.
But I do want to like commend you for taking the first step in, getting help. Because I'm sure this wasn't an easy call to make.
Yeah. And you're at your wit's end. Like you've said it, we can hear it. Like it feels like you feel really powerless and that you've done everything that you can. And what sucks is that at this point, what you are left with when you've kind of gone through your entire toolbox for this, you're left with recognizing like this was never on you, but there is no doubt now, do you know? Like, and that's like a really like overwhelming and kind of scary place to be. So yeah, I would just, in all of this, I know you only told us, you don't have to get specific with a friend, but again, because this is like a physical nature and crossing boundaries thing, I think it is important to like let one person know who is within closer proximity to you. And you don't have to be specific with like what's happening. But I would also say that like, there is no reason to feel like it's trivial or it's like a funny, it's not. And I hope that like our reactions have shown you that people who know you in person and have known you for a while, like will most like will have hopefully the same level of like support through all of this stuff. But I'm so fucking sorry.
All right, time for Don't Blame Them.
This is where a caller will let us know their own advice based on a call that we previously had. So if they think we forgot something, they heard something we didn't, or they just have their own opinions.
Here we go.
Okay. I'm going for a Don't Blame Them because this one just pissed me off. It's he doesn't understand casual sex situation from, I don't know what episode. So me and my husband had very different childhoods. He grew up Catholic as hell, and I had a hoe phase, a massive one. I have slept with literally 10 times the amount of people he has. And again, for him, it was only people in relationships. And for me, it was a lot of one night stands. At no point ever has he asked about my motivation for why I did that, unless it's related to like my mental health. At no point ever do we discuss past sexual experiences unless it is related to what I like or don't like or things that trigger me from bad experiences. Because it's irrelevant to the relationship. Unless I bring it up and I want to talk about it, then that's fine. And even then, he's like, I really don't care, because he doesn't need to, because it's irrelevant to the relationship. So your boyfriend feeling like he has to understand casual sex to understand you is utter bullshit. He doesn't need to understand casual sex because he's not having it. That's not part of your relationship. And the fact that you have had it before is not part of your relationship. This guy doesn't need to go fuck a random person. He needs therapy. And if I'm really honest, you need to get out, because like Megan and Melissa said, he may say it's not, but it's 1,000% coming from a place of judgment and slut shaming. And you don't deserve that. That's completely stupid. So get you a man who values you and does not put the way he sees you has nothing to do with your past sexual experiences, because it's so irrelevant. I can't even say it enough. I hope either your relationship works out and you're happy, or I hope that you find someone who doesn't make you feel that way. Best of luck. I hope this helps. I know that was a little harsh, but I wish you guys the best and love the show. Thank you. Bye.
I love that. That's such a good point. Like, he doesn't, to understand you better, to know you better, he does not need to your past experiences. And also, he doesn't need to understand casual sex because he's not having casual sex. Mm-hmm. Very good points. You speak how I wish I spoke.
I like that energy.
Me too.
You do speak like that.
No, but she's way more concise than me.
She might have written it out though.
That's true. Great point. Great fucking point. And this was also the overwhelming response on was the Facebook group, or I think it was Facebook group, maybe some Patreon comments. But yeah, people were heated about this one, because it's slut shaming, and nothing pisses me off more. I mean, there's a lot of things piss me off. I guess I shouldn't rank them. When men like code their slut shaming in a way that it comes from like a place of love, or it comes from like
concern.
Yeah. And when it comes from someone that you know, because like we're really adept to look out for that kind of stuff in people we don't know and people we don't trust. And then when people we trust do those things, it's kind of camouflaged in a different way that it's a lot harder to recognize. And it's just fucked. So I agree with everything that they said in that. Wow. We are ending the show on... Are you going to go look at reviews to see if we can uplift it a little bit?
Yeah. Intro was not too long. Did I read this one? I don't think we did.
I think we just said that.
Yeah. Intro is not too long. Don't believe the haters. I definitely didn't read this. From Mimi Raw. MEMMYRAU.
I can't. When you read letters like that, they either go in one ear out the other. I can't visualize that.
I'll have to do my voice for reviews. I found this podcast over quarantine. I've been going back and listening to older episodes since one a week just isn't enough. While I enjoy a guess here and there, Eminem are a duo that can't be beat. They're bold, unapologetic, and even... You didn't finish writing the review, so
stop it. Wait, that is so funny. I love it like that.
Yeah.
Don't edit it. Go just add another one. That is funny. I love it. That makes me so happy. I would love to know. Maybe you can also let us know in the Instagram comments too, how you found, when you started listening to the podcast, how you found it. Did you find it through anyone different? I've had a couple people, I think, found it through... Oh, I don't remember, but it was one episode specific. It was like different guests, any of that stuff. Would love to know, or like the episode that made you start listening. Okay, well, that's it for our episode. Hope you all enjoyed. If you want to call in for an upcoming one, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. Forgot to breathe. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Again, all the same requests from the start of the show. Keep it under 3 minutes. Write down everything and practice. Let us know your ages and your pronouns. And got to be 18 or over, have your parents' permission. Our video version is also available on Patreon if you want to see us, see Melissa's hot new hair, and see me attempt to hide my blue feet in the couch. We also would love if you want to just support the show. You don't have to watch the video versions, only $1 a month. And then we have our $5 tier where we do Zooms, live streams twice a month. It is so fun. We know so much about everybody's life. It's great. We have new people joining all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we had someone new join. When did we do it? 2 days ago?
Yep.
2 days ago. And it was their first time. And they were like, this is so much fun. This is great. So it's such a wonderful community and so awesome. And we love it. And it also helps us continue to do the show. And follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, buy my book, my presets. And what would you like to
follow me on Instagram, Twitter? I was into doing
Twitter.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter.
Okay, well, someone has not been up to date on Twitter all week, and you're going to have come on.
Ma'am, I'm on Twitter liking things. But for the stuff that you're doing, I have to go through and read deep into threads. Yeah. And I don't have time for that.
And also, I've probably tweeted 200 times a day. So it's been a lot.
Too much.
It is.
I just need the Cliff Notes versions.
I told you, I have a Cliff Notes version for you.
So that's what I'm saying. But, my Twitters are, when I tweet, I'm usually just saying something to Megan. Really.
I love it, though. You're great on Twitter.
Yeah. It's just, I go through phases.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm good on Twitter. Sometimes I'm not. 1 week I was good on TikTok. The rest of the time I haven't been.
I feel the same way about TikTok. Yeah. I go through my phases.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Maybe I'll pop up a YouTube page.
I would die. You just don't tell me. I just suddenly see what I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Anything else, Oprah? Any of your podcasts?
Go check out my business Instagram, Diamond Imprint Productions.
Hell yeah. Okay. That is it. We will see you all next time. We forgot to do any of our soundboard. Do you want to throw a sound to take us out?
So far.
Do you want me to do one? Which one? What color?
I don't know. Just pick one.
Okay. And with that, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
That was actually a good one to end on.
It was.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, executive produced by Melissa DeMonts, edited by Katrina Henning, and music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso. Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
In Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.